This is my rooftop tent by Top Oak that I'm going to try and make an access panel in the bottom of the floor so I can get into the bottom of the truck. All right, let's go to the inside and see what we're looking at here. Okay, I've already cut a hole in the bottom of the floor of the tent, and I'm basically going to try to make a door that sits flat and then will retract down and slide into a track that goes towards the front of the bed, so it's easy to access the tent from the inside of the tent or in the bottom of the bed. Let's get started. This is inside the tent, and the first thing I'm going to do with this is the rough cut. Right now I just put foil tape on it just to cover the sharp edges, just so I can work on it without cutting myself. And I'm going to put some aluminum angle iron just around the sides to support it and make sure I don't cut myself and give me something to attach my truck to. All right, those are all cut, so let's see how they fit. I'll put this one in here. This one in here. Oop, must be this side. Oop, maybe I was right the first time. Oh, never mind. And in here, okay. And then when I attach these, I'll just be drilling holes in the top of the surface and just putting rivets in there, and that should hold it good enough for what I need to do. So, okay, now it's time to rivet in our angles. Do one side first so I can hold it in place. And go to the other side. And it does help when you have a sharp drill bit, which I don't have. Okay, those are riveted in, all good to go. So this is a close-up of what it looks like after I have the angle riveted in. And the reason I didn't do 90-degree miters on here is I have a flange that's in the way here. So there's a wire in the way here. There's a bolt in the way on this one, so it's going to be covered by a mattress. Doesn't really need to look the best, it just needs to function. So my next step is going to be, I'm basically going to put an angle from that corner and extend it all the way up to the front. So then when I put the track on the side, the door will be able to go down onto the track and then slide forward. So I'm going to go ahead and cut two pieces to fit on this side and on this side. Okay, now that I have my tracks cut for this, or my angle, I'm going to put the one up here so it's parallel with that opening on that side. And then I'm going to put this one on this side so it's parallel for that side. And that will let my door come down, and I can install, I'm going to install another 1/2 inch piece of angle that'll attach to this. That'll give me my lip that the door will slide onto. So I'm going to go ahead and get in here and start putting these on. I had to cut a hole in this one because I have a bolt that comes down that attaches the tent to the top of the camper here that I made. So let's get that on. So I'm just going to bolt this one on, and the rest of them I'm just going to rivet in, because the only weight that this is going to be holding is just the weight of the honeycomb aluminum that I cut out of the floor. So it literally will weigh 5 pounds, 10 pounds at the most. And that's even with probably all the hardware in it. So no big deal. And then I'm going to put this just to make sure everything's sitting flat with the opening inside. And then once I get that perfectly parallel to the upper riser up here, then I'm just going to drill some holes and I'm going to rivet it to my frame. It'd be way easier if you just had a normal rooftop tent and didn't have the framing underneath it. Then you could just attach everything to the bottom of the tent. But I have this framing and lights and everything else in the way. So a little bit more of a pain in the butt, but we'll make it work. Get my rivets down here. And I think this one's already in the right spot. So I just need to drill it. Okay. I'll move my fire extinguisher out of the way. Okay. Double check. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And then on that end, I've got another one that I will attach another rivet on that side. And just to make it a little bit more robust, I might throw a couple more in here. I'm not sure yet. So now I'm going to put this one same way, but over here. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill a couple holes here, so I don't have to try to hold this and do it at the same time up here. It's already going to be a pain in the butt. Well, let's see what we can do. Actually, I'm going to go grab a bar clamp, and then that will help me. Okay. Back with a bar clamp. Hold this piece up. Hopefully this works. Now, if I can find out where I drilled the hole. Let's try that again. Eventually I'll get it. Okay. Okay, perfect. And now line up this side. That looks perfect there. So let me drill that one out. Let's not get aluminum shavings in my eyes. That's not any fun. Okay. Flat. Okay, it's great. And again, I'll attach the ends over there. I'll put probably a couple more rivets in it, but it's definitely strong enough. And then I'll, like I said before, I'll be attaching another piece of angle iron or angle aluminum on here. So it'll go down and over. So then when the door comes down, it'll just slide right on the track. This is the piece of aluminum that I cut out of the bottom of the tent. It's a 5/8 inch thick composite aluminum. And then I got 5/8 inch channel so I could cover up the sharp edges. And once that goes together, that'll be all nice and finished. And what I plan on doing is, this is the side that's on the back of the tent towards the back of the truck. And what I'm going to do is put aluminum rods inside it so they just stick through the side. So when the tents or when the cover slides into place, these pins will lock in the back. And then in the front, I'll lift up on it and I have pocket door locks per se, or whatever you want to call them. And these will mount on the front corners of it. And then I'll just be able to turn it to lock and unlock. And yeah, I've got to make this a little thicker to make it fit these, because yeah, with 5/8 inch thick material, I need it to be at least, I think, 1.3, what is it? 1 3/8 is what it has to be thick. So I'm going to get a piece of plywood, cut it on here, and sandwich it that way. These will work. And I just got to cut holes so these will mount inside, and then that'll be what locks the door in place when it's in the camper. I'm going to cut holes in the channel aluminum so I can fit the pins, so I'm going to weld them in place and then mount them into the panel. So it doesn't really matter where they are as long as they're on the ends. I'm just going to make them the same. 3 inches in should be fine. Okay. Much better. So again, just a regular channel that'll go on the panel. I'm going to weld these in place so they'll stick out, I don't know, maybe 1/2 inch. And then, like I say, when that drawer slide or the panel slides in, it'll go into a hole that I'm going to drill into those other pieces that I put in the bottom of the tent. I know, confusing. It'll make sense later. Okay, these are the pieces I'm going to be welding in. I've already got them cleaned off. And I'm just going to be welding the pins inside these channels. And then this is the track that I made for the inside of the tent. So when the door drops down on this angle right here makes it angle up so the pins will go up inside the tent itself. I'll show you later how that works exactly. I made a cut, bent it up, and I'm going to weld these pieces back together and then also put the pins in here. So that's what I'm going to do now. Should work. Not super happy with it, but I think it'll do for what I need to do. Okay, that should work just fine. I'm just going to clean it up and hopefully that works. Give you a closer look at these pieces. So this is the track, and this is what's going to mount on the side. I'll show you that here, and then over here, these are the pins that are going to stick out here. And then what this is going to be is I'm going to drill out the middle of the panel here, so then those pins can just go right inside this. It'll mount here. All right, let's see if I can figure out how to get this in here. Okay, let's go into market. This is going to be kind of one of them close enough moments, because the middle of this composite is just basically like aluminum foil. So this drill bit's pretty much just going to shred this in here. Okay. And then in a perfect world, this should just slide in here. In a perfect world, okay, I think I need to tap it a little bit, but otherwise that turned out pretty good. Okay, finished putting all the locks in the door, and I just installed those just like the directions say for the hardware. The only thing I did is for the change in thickness is I did mount a 3/4 inch piece of plywood or particle board on the back. That's so I can get it, because it was made for a minimum thickness door, so I just made it as thick as it had to be. And then that will be what will lock it into the front. So when I'm up inside the tent, I can just turn these to unlock it, and then that'll release the door so it can slide in the track. And then of course the other side has its pins, and that'll be what holds it in on the other side. Next step will be drilling holes into the front of the tent so that my locks will engage into that, and then also drilling holes in the back so when it slides up, the pins will go into there and hold it up. And that's what I'll do next. Okay, let's take a look. See if it fits. Cross my fingers. So after finishing those holes, I missed a little bit of filming, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did with it. So I have my L channel installed on the sides, and this is 1/2 inch piece material that I did on here. And then as you get towards the front, you can see where that ramp up is. And this is what guides the door to go into the pins in the front. And the same thing is on this side. And I only have a couple rivets. There's what, 1, 2, and then 3 rivets here. Because like I said before, this door really doesn't have any weight to it, so it doesn't need to hold a lot. And then just on one side down here, I just have a bolt coming through, so when the door slides, it just hits the bolt so it don't slide off the track. Otherwise, well, this is what it turned out up here. So of course, to access the door, unfortunately with these handles, I have to use a screwdriver or a coin to undo it. When I purchased them, I thought these turned, but they don't. I'd rather have the easier access from the top, so whatever, it is what it is, but it'll work. Access hole to grab from the upside. Otherwise, that's pretty much it from this side. And then I'll take you up above and show you how it works up there. All right, this is how it all finished off up here. This is the mat that Top Oaks has with their tents. It's basically to keep the air movement underneath so you don't get a moisture problem underneath your mattress. So I went ahead and just riveted that right onto the panel itself. And as far as operation goes, it's pretty easy. I've just got the access hole where I hold it, and I just unlock this side, it falls straight down, and then I just slide it forward. And that's it. It's pretty simple. On this side, you can see on here, I just drilled the 2 holes over there. That's where the pins go in. And then same thing on this side, except for instead of a round hole, I just have the square hole, which basically it's just like a deadbolt on a door. So it just goes into a hole. And then you can see how the tracks slide up on both sides here. So then when I pull this up, I just push it. Whoop, let me move this. And then the holes go right, or the pins go right in the hole. Pull it up, lock, lock. And that's it. And it's good enough for me. Figure I weigh 220 pounds and it has no problem holding me up here. And again, when you're sleeping on it, it'll be even less. So, you know, weight will be spread out. Otherwise, I'm super happy with it. The only thing I got to figure out later is right now the mattress, I just made a cut in it to the memory foam inside, and it's in the mattress, so at least it can fold back. But what I eventually want to do, hold on one second here. So right now my memory foam is just cut and it folds back, but I want to make a slit down the center of it here, and then I'll probably sew it up. So then just the one piece of the mattress can fold back, and then this side can just stay down, which will make it a lot easier to access. But otherwise, everything else has been fine, pretty simple, straightforward, and it'll make a huge difference. Instead of crawling out of the tent every time I want to get out, now in the middle of the night I can access this, and I've got a porta potty that I can keep in the bottom of the truck, and yeah, that way I don't have to go down a ladder at night, and it'll be so much better. So yeah, and stay tuned, because I'm going to do eventually a video of the entire build of this truck. So yeah, look forward to that.